So let's look at the strap your brain in reading and testing strategy. First, what you need to do is write strap at the top of the reading selection. You will do that on any selection that you get to remind you to do your reading strategies. Then we'll start with the S. Go ahead and take a few moments and scan the passage. Look at the title, pictures, headings, and questions if there be any. After you're done scanning the passage, you move on to the T. Think. Identify the genre. First, think about what you noticed when you scanned. So for me, I'm going to put F at the top because I feel the genre is fiction. Now, as you read the selection, if you feel that the genre is a different genre, please go ahead and change the genre. Now we're going to look at the title. From the Breadwinner. Read and circle the title. Based on what you have noticed when you scanned, based on what you read for the title, now you are going to make a quick prediction. What do you think the passage is going to be about? You can write my prediction or you can write one of your own. My quick predict says someone providing for someone. So I think that this selection is going to be about someone providing something for someone. So your quick predict should be short, sweet, to the point. What do you think the passage will be about? What do you think will happen? After you have done your quick prediction, it is now time to move on to the R in strap. That means read. As you read and you first look at your selection, you are going to draw stop points. Stop points are where you're going to stop and reflect about the text. I am a small chunk reader, so that means I read in small chunks. So here I drew my first stop point at the end of this page. As we read, we're also going to use those annotation marks, and whatever we underline or highlight, that means it is something that is important for us to make an annotation about. So whenever you read, make sure you annotate for deeper understanding. Background. Deborah Ellis wrote The Breadwinner after interviewing Afghan women and girls in a refugee camp in Pakistan. In this excerpt, 11-year-old Pravana lives with her family in Kabul, Afghanistan, in the 1990s. Pravana's family, like others, has suffered under harsh government rule. Pravana's father has been imprisoned and her older brother Hussein has been killed. With no men to help, Pravana's family must find a way to survive. So I underlined 11-year-old Pravana lives with her family in Kabul, Afghanistan, 1990s. Pravana's father has been imprisoned and her older brother Hussein has been killed. No men are there to help Pravana's family to survive. So here I use the annotation mark, the exclamation point. Pravana and her family are suffering under the harsh government rule. What are they going to do? There's no men there to help them. What are they going to do to survive? Setting a purpose for reading. As you read, pay attention to changes in the way the main character, Pravana, perceives herself and her role within her family. Note details that help you understand her character, the setting, and the conflict she faces. So remember, here is my first section, and when I get to this line, I am going to stop and reflect. They were going to turn her into a boy. So I had a question there. Is that their solution for something? As a boy, you'll be able to move in and out of the market, buy what we need, and no one will stop you, Mother said. It's a perfect solution, Miss Weira said. You'll be our cousin from Jalalabad, Noria said. Come to stay with us while our father is away. Pravana stared at the three of them. It was as though they were speaking in a foreign language, and she didn't have a clue what they were saying. If anybody asks about you, we'll say that you have gone to stay with an aunt in Kundas, Mother said. So here, my first annotation was here where I stopped earlier, and I said, is that their solution? And then I highlighted and underlined, Pravana stared at the three of them. It was as though they were speaking in a foreign language, and she didn't have a clue what they were saying. So here, my annotation was the exclamation mark, and it says, Pravana is confused and probably overwhelmed by the perfect solution. Now, she hears them talking, but she has no clue what they're saying because it's as if they're talking in a foreign language. She doesn't understand what they mean by turning her into a boy. Now, at the end of my stopping point, I wrote a mini main idea. That mini main idea is to help me understand and remember what this section is about. So as we reflect on what this section was about, it was their solution to the problem, turning her into a boy.